Hello, assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to solve the worksheet or the questions where we have to find the x and y components. So in question number 1, the vector A is provided, that is 80 kilometer, and the angle with the horizontal is 35 degrees. We have to find x and y components. So see, as I told you, you have to draw a perpendicular to find where is the x component. So this is actually ax, like the x component of vector A. And for y component, you have to draw a perpendicular along y-axis, and then you will get this part, this vector, as a y, because it's the y component of vector A. Now we know that ax is equal to a cosine theta. Why we choose cosine theta? Because with the other we have another choice of the sine theta also, but we are using cosine theta because here this x component is touching with this angle, so this will be cosine theta. How much is a? That is 80. So 80 multiply cosine 35 degrees, and by using the calculator we will get the answer. 80 cosine 35, the answer is 65.5, so it will be 65.5, and the unit will stay the same, that will be kilometer. So this is the x component of vector A. Now we are going to find the y component. We will use another color. Now ay will be equal to a sine theta. Again, I am telling you why we are using sine theta here, because the y component of vector A is not with the angle, that is away from the angle, that is not touching the angle, that is not adjacent to the angle. So we can think in many ways. So A is stay the same, that is 80, and then multiply by sine of the angle 35 degrees. So 80 sine 35, use calculator. I'm using calculator. So the answer with the calculator gave me 45.88 kilometers. So this is how we find AY. So question number 1 is done. Now we have to do question number 2 of the worksheet. Here another vector B is provided. The value of B is 107 Newton. It's a force. We have to find horizontal and vertical components. Look, sometimes in the exam they will ask you find x or y component or horizontal or vertical component, and we know that the vector part along x-axis, that will be the x component or the horizontal component. So horizontal component is the vector B, the x component, and if I draw a perpendicular along y-axis, I will get its y component, that is by. So we got bx and by here. Now find bx. Now bx is equal to b. We have to think whether I will use sine theta or cosine theta. Here I can see from the diagram that angle is not adjacent to the x component of vector B. So this, as I told you, that the vector component which is not touching the angle, that will be, that part or that component will have sine theta. That's why B 107, and then sine of the angle, how much is that? 40 degrees. So 107 sine 40. 107 sine 40. By using calculator we will get the answer 68.77 Newton. So this is our horizontal component. This is horizontal component. This is horizontal component. So don't be confused along the x component or the horizontal component, both are same. Now this, in the second part, we have to find its vertical component, and the vertical component is by. So by will be equal to the vector B himself multiplied by Now see this y vector, the y component of the vector is adjacent to the angle. That's why it will be cosine theta. So b, how much is b? 107, and cosine 40 degrees. That is equal to how much? Use calculator. Cosine, it's very simple, not difficult, just you have to take care that you have to use sine or cosine. So this is 81.96 Newton. This is by, so we got the y component also. Now come to question number 3. Question number 3 here is a vector C is provided and 27 degrees, horizontal component and vertical component same. So first of all, you have to draw a perpendicular and see here, this is CX and this one is CY. So this component is CY. So X component of vector C and Y component of vector C. Now CX will be equal to C cosine theta. Why? Because this x component is touching the angle, so it will be cosine theta. So C is 25 and then cosine 27 degrees. Again use calculator to get the answer. C is 25 cosine 27, 22.27. What is the unit? Meter per second. Don't forget to write the units. So this is our x component of the vector, of vector C. Now the second part is the vertical component, that is CY. Now CY here is not touching the angle, it will be sine. So C sine of theta. C is 25 and sine of the angle. What is the angle? 27 degrees. Again by using calculator, 25 sine 27, it is 11.34 meters per second. This is the vertical component of the vector. So this is, again we know that this is horizontal component, horizontal component, and this is vertical component. So vertical component. Come to question number 4. Here is a vector D. We have to find x or y component. So see, if we draw a perpendicular line here, this line will represent the x component of vector D, so it will be dx. And this is the vector which is, this is the component of vector D which is vertical, so it's dy. So dx and dy I have to find out. Dx is the vector D multiplied by sine or cosine, we have to decide. As I told you, it's not touching the angle, that's why it will be sine theta. D is 1000 sine theta, like sine of 20 degrees. So 1000 sine 20. Use calculator. 1000, you will write it like this: 1000 sine 20. What is the answer? 342.0. 342.02. What is the unit? That is Newton. So this is the x component of vector D, and dy will be D. Now it's touching, so that touching the angle, it will be with cosine theta. Same 1000, because D will stay the same, just cosine of 20 degrees. So 1000 cosine 20. 1000 cosine 20. The answer is 939.69 Newton. This is dy. So we have completed the worksheet. This is question number 1, 2, 3 and 4.